One of the important things to be sure you're always doing when working in Maya is before you begin. And even if you have been working and you take a break and you come back, always go and make sure your project is set to the right location. See here, File, Set Project, um, and then click on your root folder. Like for example, in this case, I might do my Scratch project, and inside of my Scratch project is my scenes and my files. And so you'll see inside my scenes that will be my saved versions that I'm going to be working on, but your directory for your set project should always be your root folder. So that basically what this means is when Maya starts to open up its project, it's going to know where all the files are coming from. This is very good practice. It may not have a huge effect on you if you forget to do it in our work, but this is a habit that you want to develop. And every time you go to work on your project, make sure that you're setting your project first before you begin to work on it. So all your files will reference in correctly. Because you may be changing your directories as you're working. You might go to another directory, and you might have your Maya is going to remember where you set it last, and so it's going to be always defaulting to the last place you set it. So make sure you always set your project before you begin. The first thing we want to do when we are starting on a new project is create a directory for our files to exist in, to live in. So in your file heading up here, you can even do a tear off here if you want to keep it mobile in your viewport. You have down here at the bottom a project window option, and that project window essentially is designed to create a directory for you with a path. And you can see here my path. You will find the same thing on your computer, whether you're a Mac user or a PC. You're going to have something similar. And the name of my project, I named it up here. I named it Scratch Project so that I can just do any examples within this subfolder here. So what it'll do is create a directory of folders here that Maya uses and pulls from your textures, your animation, different kinds of assets you might use, models and such. For this project, we're just going to be doing the default and probably not adding anything. So we're just doing accept, and we're going to be working in the scenes. So let's say I want to name my scene. You can see here that it's already got the directory saved because I've just created this directory, and it's ready to be saved and the project set. So what I'm going to do in my particular case is I'm going to go ahead and set my project to a root folder um, that I will use. All right, let's say we've done our work and we want to save our file now. There's a few options you have here to be aware of. First, you want to make sure you're saving your scene. Your first time you can click either one of these. I'm just going to click Save Scene As. We have our file name. I'm just going to call this test, and I'm going to call it 01. And you see that down here it says files of type. There's two different types of files that Maya saves it as. One is it's basically code, is probably the best way to describe it, and then you have a hard Maya binary copy. I would recommend for your project save in Maya binary as we're working, and then occasionally come in when you hit a milestone in your work, save it as a MA. These are Maya.ma files. And basically what this allows you to do as an MA file is it will appear, and you can even open it up in a text editor, and it can run across different systems. It can run across different versions of Maya, and it's a good way to deliver your project when you are ready to turn it over for a grading. But generally, be working in the binary for your project, and I would recommend saving it on occasion as a MA. It's a good way to keep your file backed up. So let's go back, make sure we named it as test 01. Let's say I'm working on an animation and I'm wanting to name a file like, let's say, test interface 01. This is my main version. Let's say version 01, right? And I save it as a Maya binary. Now it's ready to go. It's ready. You can see up here it's been saved in my path. My project is set and it's inside of that directory. Now if I want to make iterations of this so that I can go back and work on a previous version, or like I'm working and something fails, or it's corrupted, or I did something and I don't know what I did and I don't know how to get back to where I was before, I can do incremental saves here. So increment and save will make a new version. So it didn't save it because I haven't done anything new. And so if I do increment and save, you can see down here, or let's say 0001 version of it. So if I want to go back and open up a previous version, I have this previous version here for some reason if I need to go back and start over because I did something wrong in this version. So as you're working, you want to be doing this quite often. Then what you end up with as a result is you have all of these notations of what you were doing, and you have increments of each one of those versions. So it started with interface 1, interface 2. I needed to fix the camera, but I was testing it and troubleshooting it. Okay, I got it fixed. I'm done with fixing the camera. So now I'm moving on to character animation. And of course, you have your date saved, date modified as over here. So you can always go back in time if you had a problem or a mistake. This is a very good way to make sure that you have backups of your work as you're progressing. I highly recommend it. You're going to be using it. You're going to be needing it. This is one of the most important things you can learn as a beginning student, is making sure that you have iterations of your work.